Have you ever declared that you would never be like your parents, only to find out you're a spitting image? Or perhaps you're one of the lucky ones that really tried to emulate what your parents did. Regardless, as an adult, you can probably look back on your childhood and see how your parents' ways of loving and communicating with you have affected your personality, how you handle conflict, and how you communicate your needs today. Even though you're grown, you're out of your childhood home, and you're not under your parents' authority any longer, you probably still carry with you the styles of relating you found effective with your parents. Now, as you probably realize, especially if you're a parent, that parents aren't perfect. And even if they had the best of intentions, we often carry with us some of our childhood wounds into our adulthood and adult relationships. Karen Horney, a German psychoanalyst, discovered that we develop ways to cope with the deficits from our childhood relationships. We either move away from, move toward, or move against the other person. For example, my husband Craig is a middle child. The way he dealt with feeling as though his parents didn't have enough time or energy to engage with him was to move away from that relationship. His thought process was, if I withdraw, they can't hurt me. Now, I'm the oldest child, and I often felt like love was given based on how well I did, how much I gave, and how nice I was. My thought process was, if I can make you love me, you will not hurt me. So I constantly moved toward people from whom I wanted love and affection. Maybe you don't relate to either one of us because you found the best way to combat injustice is to get angry. Your thought process might be, if I have power, no one can hurt me. All of these relational styles can be detrimental to our marriage when they are taken to the extreme and are without balance. To be clear, there are definitely times when it's okay to be angry, when you need to take some time away to think and to show great affection toward our spouse. It's when we over-index on one particular way that we can become ineffective and can ultimately begin to damage our relationship. What if you took a moment to pause this video and reflect on this question? When I feel unloved, unprioritized, or hurt, do I typically withdraw from my spouse, try to move him or her to do whatever it takes to fix the relationship, or do I come against my spouse in what may come across as bullying and intimidating? Now, think about how your spouse reacts. You might find that you both respond in the same way. Maybe you're both withdrawers and you retreat into your corner, give each other the silent treatment, and just ignore and avoid actually dealing with the underlying causes of conflict. Maybe you have different styles of relating, like me and Craig. We joke that I'm like a little lost puppy dog, constantly trying to chase after him. As you may have guessed, I'm a move toward type, and he's a move away type. You might be asking, so now what? How does this information actually help me? First, identify what is positive about your style of relating. If you're a move towards person, it's worth celebrating that you have a natural tendency to affirm, embrace, and approve. If you're a move away person, you have the ability to take a step back and look at the whole picture. And if you're a move against type, you're good at speaking your mind and doing things about the problems you see. But let's be honest, we all know there can be a downside to each of these styles. To find health, we can look to the types we are not in order to create a better balance. For example, Craig still withdraws when he needs to think and process during a heated or complicated situation. But he has learned to exit the conversation with me with a promise to come back to it at a specific time and place. This allows me to stop my chasing after him or a resolution to the conflict because I know it will eventually come. I've been able to internalize that his needing time away does not mean that he's abandoning me or withdrawing his love. If you're a move against type, you can leverage thinking before speaking or carrying more compassion in your confrontations. To get a start on creating more balance in your style of relating, think about applying these questions to a recurring conflict you have with your spouse. 1. What would it look like if I approached, embraced, or leaned into the problem or situation? How can I close the gap? 2. What would it look like if I attacked, confronted, or challenged the problem or situation? How can I clear away the obstacles? 3. What would it look like if I stepped back or away from the problem or situation? How can I get some distance? The goal here isn't perfection, but growth. It's opening our mind and our heart to consider another way forward and to break some of the endless relational conflict that can plague our marriage.